What's going on, everyone? It's your friend Will. It's early in the morning on Thursday. We have a fresh quest here to cast blue or green spells, and I figured I would try out an updated version of the Muldrotha deck that I went back to now that Kaladesh is out, because this deck is really cool, Muldrotha is really cool, and it got a lot of new tools. I'm still playing around with some of the ratios here, but in particular, some of the new stuff it got um, are the Gear Hulks, green, black. Blue doesn't work in this deck since we don't run any spells, any instants for it to target. Walking Ballista, um, and the Token Snake, as well as Nissa. So I think this is a keepable hand. Obviously it's slow, but sometimes you just gotta cross your fingers and hope it's not red deck. So if we win after this game, I'll briefly show the deck list before we jump into the next one. I think there's a lot of room for flexibility here, a lot of ratios that can be tweaked, and more importantly, the sideboard has, I think, a lot of ways you can go with it. We're playing best of one right now, so we're not going to see the sideboard. But if you have any thoughts on how to sideboard with a deck like this, it's interesting because you pretty much only want permanents in your sideboard, right? You don't want anything that Muldrotha can't interact with. This might eat a Syncopate here. Yep. We'll try again next turn. A little concerning that they have a search going. We do have one Brontodon to answer cards like this, but we have to find it in time. Okay. Let's try again. I wouldn't be surprised if this one resolved. It's just a 2-1 after all, right? It's great. We can put this garbage basic land. Who needs that when we're rich? So they're on Esper. I guess we'll probe to see if this gets sealed away. It doesn't. Well, let's just, no rush. We can use this to feed our graveyard a little bit before we look for a chance to play any of these. Like right now, we actually don't get a ton of value out of these. Since I mean, the Muldrotha will let us get land back, but the graveyard's not very full. There's one. If they tap out for something like a Lyra, Gearhulk plays, which is nice. Gearhulk is definitely a card that you take out. We play only one black Gearhulk, and in matchups like this, you're most likely boarding it out for things like freebooters or siphoners, but you know, we have what we have here. Alright, so we'll attack again, see if they do anything. And then I think we'll just play the Gearhulk and see if it eats a counterspell. Just want to clear the way to resolve either Muldrotha or Scarab God. And then, of course, if it's countered, it's just more food in the graveyard for both cards to take advantage of. They're thinking about it. I mean, it's a 5/4 menace. It's a meaningful clock, and there's the disallow. It would be great if this card had something like Lifelink. But as it stands, it's like a good alternative to Chupacabra, I think. Like, we still played 2 Chupacabras, but I like this as the third. It also counts as an artifact, more importantly. Alright. I guess let's go for Muldrotha. I'm sure they figured this is what we're up to. But yeah, the fact that you can play some artifacts like the Gear Hulks that will count not as creatures, but still are creatures that come back, makes Muldrotha, I think, pretty good. Okay, we'll see if we actually get to untap with this, or if it eats a... Yeah, Vraska's Contempt. So that means either they had no counterspell, or they figured better to let it resolve and permanently exile it than put it in the graveyard, where I might be able to get it back in the future. There's another one, though. Let's see if they have the counter for this one. If not, at least we get to play the land out of our graveyard. Torrential Gear Hulk for disallow. That's rough. If I attacked first, there was a chance that they would have Gear Hulked in. I think. Actually, probably not. They could have Gear Hulked in and contempted it, which would have given me a window to resolve. Alright, this is getting a little tight here. They've had quite the number of answers. Gear Hulk makes these permission decks all the more powerful because they just get that many more counters every game. Let's just hope they miss here. They missed. That's good news for us. We'll save to cycle this. They're probably going to dig again, and if they find Vraska's Contempt, they're in a pretty good spot. They're going to see up to 4 cards off Glimmer, plus their draw step, plus up to 4 cards from the Iskanta, so they get to dig through like almost 10 cards here to try to find an answer to Scarab God. Which is not good, not great, but we're drawing live to a lot of things, like Liliana will be very good. We have another Scarab God. If they answer this, yeah, so here comes the answer. They're going to Gear Hulk back their Contempt. It's a pretty safe route for them to take. Because now they get to jam for 5 safely. And I guess we'll cycle and then decide if we want to block. No, they didn't even attack. Wow. I guess they don't want me to put this in the graveyard and draw the cards, which makes some sense. Alright, these are not bad draws, by any means. They can help us put more Champion of Wits in the graveyard. Or just dig through pockets of land. We don't need that. That's a 1-of card right now in the deck to loot with Muldrotha. Also something that gets sideboarded out, but I think it's good in mid-range matchups. Library. We want to try. We have enough land now that we can cast it and activate it at least once. So they didn't leave themselves mana here. Okay, so they're cycling. So in the dream scenario that we get back, we get to resolve Scarab God next turn. We're probably going to look to bring back, I guess, Muldrotha. And then untap with Muldrotha and start doing stuff. Hopefully they didn't get something. Oh, they did get something. They got to take the Scarab God off that Gonti. That's pretty disappointing. Not how we drew it up. This is definitely a matchup where once we sideboard and we bring in our Siphoners and our Freebooters, I think it gets a lot better. But game 1, it's tough because you're playing a very, just mid-rangey game that's easy for like Gear Hulks and Teferi's to take over. This is exactly the type of deck that when I was grinding the master before they did the reset. Like blue-white, I just never lost, almost never lost to this type of deck. I need to just start attacking here because I need to get this in the graveyard. I should have been doing this whole time. Just to have it in the yard. At least now if we draw Walking Ballista, it's pretty good. Yeah, so we have 2 Constrictors in the deck. I think they play nicely with like the Gearhulk and the Green Gearhulk and the Explorer creatures and Ballista. And it's cool with Muldrotha that you can play this back from your graveyard as the creature and then play the Gearhulk or the Ballista back as an artifact and then still get the bonus. It's kind of like a 2-for-1. I guess let's double block one. Probably going to get a removal spell here, but at least then it's like 1 less card in their hand, so we know. And if they just play our Scarab God, I'm assuming they have our Scarab God, which they can actually activate and stuff. Yeah. I'll just scoop here. Oh, we had like, what, 4 turns in a row where we tried to resolve stuff, and they had answers every single time. Which is pretty tough, but I'll show the deck really quick before doing another one. This is another deck where I think you need to be playing best of 3, but I'm not really quite happy enough to play it best of 3. So, like 1 Candle, certainly a flex spot. 4 Branch Walker, because Explorer is just really powerful in this deck to get you into your lands, to put stuff into your graveyard to reanimate later. 2 Constrictor, 3 Champion, 4 Jade Light, 1 Brontodon, 1 Araska Relic, again, to loop. And it actually gives you a source of life gain, repeated life gain off Muldrotha. Chupacabra, Liliana, Eldest Reborn. Would have been nice to draw one of those that game. 1 Nissa, 2 Gearhulk, green, 2 Scarab God, 1 Gearhulk black, 1 Vraska, 2 Muldrotha, 3 Walking Ballista, and 13, 16, 19, 26 lands. Yep. So that's it. I think there's a few flex spots in here. The Tallow, if you think that these artifacts are too cute, you can certainly cut them and go like another Brontodon, another Constrictor. You can cut down to 1 Eldest Reborn if you think 2 is too much. Like you could turn this into more of a, like you could try to go up to 4 Gearhulks and 4 Constrictors and turn it into more of like a linear counters deck with just some like powerful, differently powerful end game. But anyways, if I keep playing with the deck, I'll do a deck tech on it. But let's just get another one. Oh wow, we didn't earn out our whole quest there, did we? I think it just glitched and wasn't showing it to us. I think we only got about half of it resolved. It's very possible that the artifact stuff is too cute. But it feels like it doesn't cost that much to include. The Candle might be too much, but the 1 Araska Relic, it does, if you draw it, it does ramp you. So we can keep this. Ha. In 6 turns, this is going to be a removal spell. Cool. So let's take this turn to just resolve a Ballista here. Opt is not a card I'm usually expecting out of this deck, but if they're looking for lands, it makes sense. Since they're not white, I feel okay attacking. Don't have to worry about a seal away. It's possible that they could show a white land here, but we'll take that risk to give them the 1 damage. Alright, so we'll pump the Ballista and attack here. Playing it slow. Actually, maybe we want to play this then. Playing it slow with Ballista is not bad. Getting champion down seems very good. Yeah, so we can do this. Last game, if I had been attacking with that champion that whole time and maybe even induce him to block, we could have gotten... I think it would have been a bit better. I was a little afraid of just taking 10. And so maybe holding it back saved us some turns, but at a certain point I felt like, oh, I needed that champion in the graveyard to try to draw myself back in. They're missing land drops, but they can still have disallows and stuff. So let's attack and see if they use any removal here. They will push. Alright, so we'll take off a counter in response, ping them. They still have Essence Scatter Mana, or Syncopate for 1, so I'm just going to play the Jade Light, try to find more lands. As much as I want to resolve something big here, I don't want to give them value out of like a Syncopate for 1. That resolved very quickly. Then 2 lands, so we're cruising towards our Champion of Wits. And we also have one more creature in play for Gear Hulk. Right. So opponent has found their 4th land. And they just pass the turn. Blood Tallow Candle is now live. Attack and see if they use up any mana here. Nice. So Vraska's Contempt. Which means we can resolve Nissa. We can even minus and bring back our Ballista here. No point in plussing that turn. Now next turn we can bring back Champion of Wits and plus and get in a big swing. Nissa, if you haven't seen this one, is pretty good against these control decks. The +1 beats it down really quickly, and she emblems very fast, too. Oh, it's blue-black conjecture. Okay, I should have guessed that based on the masterminds. Okay, so let's go. Wits up. Plus, again for 7. They're in this awkward position now where they have to start like contempting and stuff on their turn. We can just Gear Hulk up here and kill them. There's a chance that they could like mastermind for Bantus, then they're going to get no value out of their Chapter 3 conjecture. Maybe that's what they're thinking, is like that they have no way to win if they don't do that. Even so, they would still lose. I would just Nissa a land and play Gear Hulk and turn it into a 9 power. So they're taking this route. however, exposes them to Gear Hulk. Let's do it like that, so they're both 5. And so they probably have like a cast out or fatal push. It's fine. And for good measure. Seems like a fine way to draw. Now what's the worst they can do here? Double Mastermind I don't think does anything, so they must have some more removal that they'll use. I assume they're gonna do something. So they can go get cast down and double cast the cast down on these. They could get cast down and yeah, they could just go get like 2 cheap removal spells and twin cast them both. So I guess that actually works well for them. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, that works too. So let's just make a ballista for 4. Alright, pop them down to 1 here. Oh, Lich's Mastery. Oh, so they're pretty much toast here. I think we do the same thing. And now we just make them sack a bunch of permanents. Oh wait, you can do it from the graveyard too? I always thought it was like something that you control. Oh damn. This card's better than I thought. They still have to win. Yeah, I did not realize that it turned on your graveyard as well. Okay. And you're gonna get back Fatal Push here. Contempt. I wonder if this Gear Hulk will resolve. That's pretty good too. But I think we want to go Branch Walker. Graveyard. Gear Hulk. That's what we'll do. Just in case this gets killed in response. We'll hedge. Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is hexproof. Next turn, we're going to try to resolve this to destroy their Conjecture. And hopefully they're going to use this. This is interesting. This gets a lot better when you can bring in, like, Lich's Mastery from the sideboard. But I suspect we can win with them light on cards. Oh, but they have to draw 2 off that. Okay. Okay, so now with the coast is clear to play Vraska. This is a crazy game. I guess we'll cycle this, just in case we hit a 2-drop. We did. Rewarded. Library. I've never tried to grind through a Lich's Mastery before, but we're going for it this game. The Conjecture. This is their... Do we want to move? Yeah, okay. Outright. So what's good down here? A lot of Explore guys. For sure attacking. Need to put pressure on their graveyard, I guess. They've already gotten their instant back, so they're not going to return Contempt. In combat. Scarab God. guess we're gonna bring back Gear Hulk. That's the biggest thing we can bring back. Gets us out of range of this Golden Demise. So stopping our upkeep, because I think we're gonna bring back something on their turn and something on the upkeep if they let us untap with this. Maybe two things in the upkeep just to get the maximum life drain. So I don't think we're gonna play this Gear Hulk. Right, so they have another Contempt. So let's bring back. Oh, maybe we want Jade Light. Oh, I think we just want Gear Hulk. Let's do this. So they both go to 5 toughness and get around this Golden Demise. So that's going to be double casted off the Conjecture next turn. We also threaten hit for 11 here. We have a lot of good draws. We have Liliana, Nissa, another Scarab God, Muldrotha. So we have a ton of good draws down here. Oh wow, look at that combo. This deck is very cool. I don't know how good it is, but it's really well suited against a deck like this that lets it do its thing. Okay. Let's get our Jade Light back. See some cards. Graveyard. Maybe action. We need to draw big stuff. It's also possible we might just be dead here. I don't know what they're... I'm assuming that they're gonna like mastermind and go get like their big the black fireball. Looping for Acid Contempt is a nice way to make this card really good. I don't think I have any Masterminds acquisitions. I wonder how many they run. I would guess 2. It seems like a pretty bad card to have like a lot of in your deck because it doesn't quite do much on turn 4. So I'm assuming they went to go get another Vraska's Contempt, which they'll twin cast here. Yep. I think to draw 4 of this. I guess between like Fatal Pushes and Conjectures and Cast Downs, you could maybe beat red decks with this if you tuned it and then sideboard it. This is interesting. It definitely makes me want to try this. Something like this. Drawing land's not great there. Not what we wanted. Probably dead this turn, if I'd have to guess. Or close to it. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They can only hit us x equals 9, x equals 10. X equals 10 is enough to kill us if they got that card. I kind of don't want to scoop. I want to let them win because I'm pretty sure we're locked out. But I also don't want to waste time. So if they don't have a good way to win, it's kind of like, well, I guess, by the next conjecture, they'll do it. They're not going to be, because I'm not pressuring them anymore. Or am I? I'm sure they have some kind of, well, they have contempt, yeah. And disallow. And they know we have this harbor, so we're going to be a gentleman, let them do their conjecture, their million triggers a turn. So they get back acquisition, and cast it this turn, and then go get the X spell for next turn. Yep. And then they get to twin cast the X spell. Don't know about that. Okay, let me just represent that I have nothing, so they know the coast is clear to kill me. Lich's Mastery is interesting. I'm trying to think if the Teferi deck can actually win through it, because they tend to not deal damage. Now we're dead. Well, that was cool. Anyways, so that was a pretty fun 0-2 with the Muldrotha deck. Like I said, it's really, I think, better suited for best of 3. Like, imagine if we could just sideboard against that deck. We'd be in a much better place. But that being said, my coffee needs a refill. That's the end of this video. It went longer than usual. I hope you enjoyed that really grindy match, and we'll be back tomorrow with more. Alright, later.